to take him away from the green armour to black armour with green shoulder pads. And of course we have Vashtor as well, which so want to paint. I'm gonna paint him something cool. He's awesome. I also need to glue that on and then blend it into the skin. In fact, I think that's a little bit too long, so it needs, that top bit needs to be removed. Flesh, thank you very much. Sorry, I am completely distracted now. I'm distracted. Right, so that. Cut that there. Cut that there. Only on chapter 2 of Flight of the Islands, but it's pretty good. Yes. Well, you'll get to the section. In fact, I can play the section because I know where it is now. Because I've got to it in the actual book.
Hey, but we can always build more killbots.
We could always build more killbots. How are you doing? Target. Target. There we go. That's better. That's better. So that fits a bit better in there. So that can go on there, and then I'll sculpt flesh kind of, because you can see how it's all the flesh is kind of stretched over the mechanical bits. So I'm going to kind of stretch some flesh over the armor plate as well. So we can remove that bit there, like that, so that can sit flat there, and that can sit there, and I'll blend that in. Need 45 more channel points to get my entry sound. Nice, Hannah. Do you know what you're gonna get? What are you gonna get, Hannah? Hannah, what you gonna get? What you gonna get when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. Bad Hannah, bad Hannah. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when she comes for you? Bad Hannah. Legends of Paint. So yeah, put that over there. And there's the one of the other Golden Demon models, which you will have seen if you've been watching the videos. Probably something Dune related. Put your hand in the box. What's in the box? Pain. Yes, Hannah. What about the Imperial March? You can pay for the Imperial March if you click on sound alerts. There should be a sound alerts thing on the stream somewhere. I think is it somewhere over here. There's an Imperial March option in there. I think it's in there. Go and have a look. Could have the Imperial March. Right. I also want to do a video. I need to finish off my Inquisitor, me, as it turns out, because it looks like me. I need to finish that off so I can do an update video on all that, ready for Saturday, because Saturday is the second day for the boarding action paint along. Right. So, if we zoom in here, you can see here. We've got texture on the inside of the cloak, because the inside of the cloak is supposed to be velvet, and the outside of the cloak I was trying to make it all silky. It's very incredibly hard. 50 more to get another Ultra. Oh no! Oh God! I was gonna drop that off. I was gonna drop that off when Saxtooth got it. I didn't know anybody else was close. I didn't realise you were close, Target. Anyway, let's get wet palette. Wet palette. Yeah. Right. Right. So I don't know whether to do more on the cloak or whether to start the sword. I think because if we start the sword, we can finish the sword. I think we'll do the sword because the cloak I kind of need to be really switched on for the cloak. Hey Tigers, how are you doing? Glorfindel is an orc. Glorfindel is an orc. Glorfindel is an orc. Oh dear. Oh, what a twat. I really need to put this in a pot. I need to get this in a pot. I'm going to just squeeze out a little bit of this into a pot. Put some water in it and some Everest thinner, and that should be really much more useful. Tigers, how are you doing? I'm well, how are you? I'm good, thank you, dude. Yeah, I am good. Let's get some white. So there's some white. Some white there. We've already got the grey that I want to use, which is this. In fact, we probably need to squeeze a bit more of that out. No, we should do that actually. So this charcoal grey. I want the upside of the sword to be a little bit blue, and then the underside of the sword to be a little bit brown. What's everybody else been up to? What are we all up to today? Up. And a little bit of pale grey blue. And a little bit of white grey. For fuck's sake, come on. I hate drop bottles. Hey Tobias, how are you doing? Did a little bit of painting yesterday, so it's relative progress. Nice. Tobias, how are you? Yeah, a little bit of water. There's a bit more water. And then the light grey. We need a fair bit of water as well. It's probably 50-50 water to paint. Maybe a fraction more, maybe 60-40. Okay, so we'll use trusty cut down size 0 just to get these tones on straight away. And this probably wants to be blue as well because it's sort of reflecting the cloak. And obviously the upside here is reflecting the sky, so that's why the upside is going to be blue. Working on a grimdark ultramarine for MAM. Having an embarrassing amount of fun stippling the armour and trip. Oh, March from a Crag. I did a post for March from a Crag because it's I did a lovely dead ultramarine on a Necron base. And yes, I'm good, thank you. I normally just do a corpse too, but I thought I'd try and guide us all on YouTube. Out of Orion. Yeah, I just did a lovely dead Necron. I think I even put something like, apparently it's like March for Necrons or something month. So here's a Necron. So many ultras I could be painted, but I'm stuck procrastinating on a batch of Crons. I mean, Necrons is better to paint Necrons than it is Ultramarines, so you're doing the right thing. How many have you got, Target? I don't even know how many you've got. Orange, we dead giraffe. Just a clip for Rafa's team as she's stuck at work. Oh no! I've sent her a picture. Thank you, Shepherd. Poor giraffe. I'm trying to go really chrome on this. For those of you who are wondering, going for a nice kind of bright chrome finish. Already looks pretty cool, and this is why I did the sword rather than the cloak, because the sword I can kind of get done quite quickly because we're just building up very small little layer transitions. It's quite straightforward. Hey Spike, how are you doing? Tobias, about to prep some decals. Nice. Is using a hairdryer to dry varnish likely to end badly? Not particularly. Don't get it too close to the model. What you shouldn't do is use a heat gun like one of my friends did recently. But hairdryer should be fine. Keep it moving. Don't go or anything like that. Just kind of keep blasting it to and fro across the model. So there's a little dark bit here which we're going to accentuate a little bit. I need to finish the Necrons ASAP and try and feel up to a few more matches. Probably going to switch just for a bit of so excited for 10th. What did you guys think the Tyranid Warrior and Terminator image was about? Do you think that's a 10th edition box? Do you think it's something before 10th edition? I think it's Primaris Terminators and, like, I'd like to say Gene Stealers, but that would be like a really nice, not Space Hulk kill team kind of thing. Because I don't think they're going to do Space Hulk. But I can see them doing like Gene Stealers and Terminators in a kill team Gallo Dart box. As a way to launch the new Terminators and Gene Stealers. Yeah, well, the rumour is that the NIDs are getting like a range refresh like the Necrons did. Hey, so Epic 40k would be amazing. Question. Yeah, they'll get a new Lictor. They'll definitely get a new Lictor. They'll definitely get a new Lictor. Lictor's one of the oldest ones. When they're doing a range refresh, like, I don't think they're going to forget any of the models. They'll do a range refresh and the whole thing will come out. They'll get new everythings. They're already there's rumours that there's a dual build Gaunt kit. Lictor. Yeah. Anyway, Battlefleet Gothic. Oh my god, I love Battlefleet Gothic. Now, so Epic 40k. Do we want Epic 40k or do we want Titanicus / Aeronautica scale Epic? Because Epic 40k was 6mm, wasn't it? And Titanicus is 10mm. Teeny tiny 40k. So Warhammer 40,000, but with models that are this big. And you have them in strips. The rumoured Primaris Tyrannies just makes me hate life. Why does it make you hate life? What is the point? What is the point for massive scale battles? Scale socials and Emperor Titans actually fit on the table. Yeah, so you can. So it's just so that you can have massive battles. So it's a different scale. As soon as you play around with scale, you just end up with either smaller or larger battles. It's really cool. Andy, you must know about Epic 40k, dude. You must have played Epic 40k. I don't think they'll get. Why would they get? I don't think they'll get like Primaris Tyranids. They'll just get like scaled up Tyranids. I don't mind scaled up Tyranids. I don't like the aesthetic of the Tyranids anyway. As long as if the new Tyranids come out and their aesthetic is like the Parasite of Mortrex, because that was a really nice sculpt. That was a really nice kind of aesthetic and proportions to it. So as long as they come out and they're like that, that would be cool. So this is just very, very thin. All the different greys. And we're just creating this cool blade. And now we've got all that kind of softly done. We can hit some highlights. Marine's Codex does not need to be 200 pages. New super nids. I really just want them to stop inventing newer Astartes squads. Oh, the new Astartes, yeah, the new Astartes. Well, I mean, I've spoken about this before. I just want them to make new war gear. Like, stop making them stop putting the missile launchers just with the missile launchers and put them in a unit that can take everything. I don't think the new Terminators will be Primaris. I think they will just be new Firstborn Sculpts. Yeah, that's not a bad call. That's not a bad call. They don't need to be Primaris, do they? They don't need to be Primaris Terminators. They just need to be true scale Terminators. So just like scale up the Terminator, and like don't make any. You don't need to make any backstory about why they're a larger Terminator. They're just a larger Terminator. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they don't need any reason. They're just new models. Yeah, I like that handy. Shiny sword. Has everybody followed like what I've done here? Because it's not difficult. Like non-metallic on swords and stuff is not really. It's not a challenging. Particularly on like bright swords, it gets a bit more. Gets a bit more tricky when you're talking about. Rusty swords. I might put this one up on YouTube actually. The Hero Space Hulk third sculpts were great. They just need to be a kit that has options, particularly the Hammer Thrower and Lightning Claws plus Sabers of Blood Angels. Yeah, actually I wonder what the percentage of plastic between Space Marine, Chaos Marines and literally everything else in 40k. Yeah. Ching ching! I have a sword. Games. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the crypt. We are painting Glorfindel. Painting Glorfindel. So we're going to do exactly the same on the underside. However, on the underside we're then going to get some brown involved. So I'm going to get some Mournfang brown. In fact, because we're going to use Mournfang brown, we'll use some thin neutral grey rather than the dark blue grey, because we're going to bring warmth into it anyway. And staying married more. Oh, Soul, you're a legend.
Adverts. Must be time to resub.
Thank you, dude. Thanks, man. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you, dude. We're going to have a game of 40k at some point, mate. When 10th comes around and I've got some points on the tabletop. We could even do Grey Knights versus Orcs if you wanted. Oh my god, somebody else! Target! Oh, thank you, man! And a Squeezle! Who has Grey Knights? I've got Grey Knights. I have Grey Knights. I have Grey Knights, look. I have Knights who are Grey. Grey Knights. They are Grey Knights that are very, 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 very dark. You can't quite see. There we go. You can see there how it's like light here and dark there. This is a very, very quick test model. There, so it shows it really well on the back as well, how kind of contrasty it is. You do have red Grey Knights, yes, but I have Grey Knights, so we could do Grey Knights versus Red Knights. That's cool as fuck. Thank you, dude. We're going to do the same thing with this, but there's just going to be more brown involved in this one, because this is going to be reflecting. This is basically reflecting what's on the floor. You know what would make Grey Knights even better if it was painted? No, Spike! No! Not even slightly. Not even slightly. Seen that 10th ed is going to be Dark Angels versus Tyranids. Yeah, that's the rumours. That's the rumours. That is the rumours, with Tyranids getting like all the new models. Squeezle, how are you doing? Didn't 9th Ed launch box have a named Space Marine character? Nope. 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 No, I don't think the 10th box will have. Like the lion and a tyrannid cool big monster will come out separately, I think. I don't think they'll be. I don't think they'll be included in the box. Yeah, the lion will come out separately, I think. I don't think it'll come out in the box. Lionel Johnson. I'm really excited to see him actually. If they do drop him, I mean they're hinting. They can't stop hinting at it at the moment. I mean the last tarot card was the Knight, for God's sake, who had a winged helmet. So they're certainly not doing a very good job at disguising the fact that he's coming. Not that they want to, because they want to hype it up. Yeah, it's going to be good. I just now getting into painting my Space Marines, and I can't stop watching others paint now. Going to watch while I wait. Oh, nice one. Thank you, Colette. Thank you very much indeed. If you want to follow me on YouTube as well, there's plenty of YouTube videos on there that you can watch while you paint as well. Thank you. Thank you, Cole. Thank you for the follow. This is for Golden Demon, which is why I'm taking forever to paint a tiny, tiny, tiny little sword. Thank you very much for the follow. What chapter are you painting your Space Marines, Cole? Ultra. Oh no! Oh no! David Hepburn, thank you very much for the follow on YouTube. Thank you, dude. Really, really, really appreciate it. Exclamation mark YouTube, guys, if you want to drop me a follow on there as well. There's some cool content going up on there, and I've got some more cool stuff coming. Of course, and I'm very, very, very close to the 4,000 watch hours as well, so if anybody wants to leave any of my videos running and watch them all the way through, that would be amazing. I might put this video up actually. I might put this video up, which would be good for some watch hours as well. And a subscription as well, dude. You are spoiling me. Thank you so much. Is one able to upload images here? Not well. If they're on Instagram, then you can post a link, or you can throw them up in Discord. That's an alternative way of getting images out to everybody so that they can see. Who was the guy I met at? Who was the guy that I met at Warhammer World? Have you listened to episode 0.5 of Tradtown? Okay, right, I need to get some brown. I need to get some brown to drop in the shadows of this sword. Need some brown. Or I could not hear that. Oh, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the follow on YouTube. That's a massive, massive help. Thank you. There's lots on there. Games Workshop send me review copies as well. So there's lots of like kit reviews and things. Thank you very much for the follow. Right, let's get some brown. So I just want Mournfang brown. That was too much paint on the end of the brush. Yep. So I just want to get some brown. I should really try and highlight that as well. I'm not good for the wallet. You wait, Tobias. You wait for the next series of videos. The next series of videos are not going to be good for anybody's wallet, and I apologise in advance for them. Oh dear. Yeah, I apologise in advance. So this is just Mournfang brown. Before I start painting him, so much little gold detail everywhere. I want all the named Ultramarines. I already have Mr. Gulliman. Oh no. Well, despite what chat will lead you to believe, Cole, I don't like Ultramarines. Heresy. In fact, there is an award redeem where if you save up 500,000 points, you can force me to paint an Ultramarine, which somebody has recently achieved, which is why I've got to paint Marnia's Calgar. My Kyria's coming out, and even painting an Ultramarine for going, yeah. Whatever, Trevor. You'll notice that my Marnia's Calgar has the correct head though. All the other Marnia's Calgars seem to have the incorrect head. Dragonflight, thank you very much for the follow. Hey Gallo, how are you doing? How are you doing? Oh, we're getting all the subs today. Badger, thank you so much. Badger. Welcome back to the crypt, my friend. How are you doing? Thank you very much indeed. Change, not chance. Change. I paint once I have the whole model together. How does it change the process if I paint then build or partial build like you? Like if you're just starting, I would build everything and paint everything. This is very much for like competition and display purposes. But most of the time you can just build everything and then just paint everything. I tend to leave my heads off because I really like painting faces. But in terms of how it changes the process, you have to be... this, for instance, you have to be very aware of where all the lighting is, so that I have to have the lighting on the head in exactly the right place for when I put it on, it fits in with the rest of the model. So it's probably a step too complicated if you're just kind of starting off. So just kind of build the whole model and paint the whole model. If you can't get your brush, somewhere, then ultimately just leave it black, because that's just going to be a shadow. Wherever you can't get your brush, it's just going to be a shadow. So how does it change the process? Doesn't really. Like I say, you just have to be aware of where the lighting is if you're doing kind of directional lighting. But if you're painting your first models, I don't think you'll be worrying about directional lighting and things. Just get some paint on there. The best thing when you're just starting out is to make sure you're finishing models. because then you'll have a model to kind of compare as you're kind of improving and learning bits and things like that. So you will hate your kind of first few models quite quickly. You're like, oh, I should have done that better. But it's all part of the process. It's all part of the journey. And it's an awesome hobby, and there's lots of cool people in it. So just keep painting, as they say. Yeah, but you don't need to put the date on it, because you'll have a photograph of it on Instagram or Facebook or somewhere. But yeah, just don't. As one of my videos, which is going to be coming to the channel very, very soon, will say, never give away your models. Don't do it. Don't do it. You will regret it. I've actually regretted raffling off some of my models. Like, I really liked Morven Val, which is why I've got a new Morven Val. I really like the Eldar. The Eldar one. The Wraith Seer. Faces, how are you doing? How good is the zoom on your camera on what, this one? Have you not seen this before? Have you not seen that before? Yeah. That's. Did you like the videos, by the way, Faces? Thank you so much for all the comments. It's really nice. It's really cool. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving putting the content out. And I've got loads planned. I've got the bases for this, which I need to finish off. I'll probably try and finish those tomorrow. I've also just been sent a link for a possible solution to the 40mm base problem, which is going to be quite cool. Faces, that's awesome. That's so cool. I hope they find some traction. I hope they find a home, kind of thing. I hope the community embraces them, sort of thing, and they get bigger and bigger, sort of thing, because they're really fun to do, and I really like doing them. And like I say, the next series, that series which I'm going to do with conversion ideas, because I'm going to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of the ones I've already done. I'm not going to give you any hints about which ones they're going to be, but I'm going to go through some of the conversions that I've done in like here are three conversions ideas, and here's one that I've already done from sections of books, or from stories, or from relics and things like that. And then going forward, I'm going to do even more. And I'm really close to finishing off my Inquisitor as well, so that will be a really cool video and stuff. Yes, please like and comment, because as soon as a video, so whenever I put a video up, if it gets interaction, if it gets likes and comments, then YouTube is more likely to recommend and suggest it to other people. And some of my, the biggest video was the Rogel Dawn video, because everybody was commenting on that, going, "Oh, I can't believe they haven't put a base on it. Oh my god, fuck Games Workshop, blah 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 blah," which was one of those accidental negative videos, which shows just how much movement negative videos get. And it wasn't supposed to be a negative video; it was just highlighting a negative that everybody kind of jumped on board of. And that got thrown around everywhere. That got like linked. YouTube recommended that to so many people. So yeah, liking and just dropping a comment, even if the comment is, "Oh my god, mate, this is rubbish," it'd be great. And Andy Davo knows all about this as well. He was in chat. Even negative interaction helps. Yeah, but that's why people do clickbait negative. I know, and I'd never ever want to do a clickbait negative video. I think the most clickbaity video thumbnail I think I've done was the Sword of Secrets one. Yeah, I did like that one. New Sword of Secrets. but yeah, that I just really like it. I've got updates to do. It's trying to find time, honestly. Yeah, the Golden Demon one I thought was quite fun. It was really fun to do. And very easy to do, because all I had to do was like turn the camera on and talk to you all, which is always nice. It's nice when you can just kind of do an easy video like that. So that was cool. And the Typhon tank one was mainly because I was having carpet fitted yesterday, so it was too noisy to do a voiceover, and I could have recorded that and then done a voiceover on it afterwards. But there is, I don't know whether anybody watches the Gundam build videos, but Gundam build videos, they don't have any voice, like there's no voiceovers on Gundam videos, and it's all just, I'm building this, and it's all like ASMR build videos. So I thought, I'll tell you what, I'll just do a build video and I'll set it to the music that I do my stream on. And I think it will be cool. So for those of you who didn't like that one, it won't be every video, it won't be every build video, it won't be every review. It's just that review, I thought, it's just a cool big chunky tank. I don't think it needed me to say, fucking hell, look at this cool big chunky tank. So that one I thought fitted the here's me building it as a time lapse with some music. Enjoy your sped of assembly montages. Somebody watched it, so I've had quite a few messages about that, about the build, because people have been watching it. And one of the favourite ones is, what the hell was the sanding pad that you did that you were using on the tracks? I'm like, I'm sorry, it's just a sanding pad glued to a bit of bamboo, so it's flat. That's all it is, nothing clever. But then also that highlights another video which I need to do, which is here are some tools that make building things easy. So yeah, there's all sorts of videos. I just want to. I really want to. Yeah, I just want more people to see the videos. more people, because I think they're really cool and I'm enjoying doing them. Yeah, I've joined loads of Facebook groups as well, so I've been sharing them on Facebook groups, which has been fun. The Dark Angel Facebook group didn't like my Sword of Secrets, because apparently it's a Sword of Secrets. It's secretive. It shouldn't be all big and extravagant. I'm like, yeah, but it's a special sword. It should look a little bit more special. So that made me chuckle. Now on Etsy, frost pads. Yes. Etsy now on my website. I'm just going to put them on my website. So yeah, I've got so many videos that I want to do. So I'm not short of ideas. Like I say, I just hope they. It is difficult to promote videos actually, because all the social media, as soon as you put a link on a social media post, it doesn't like it, so it never really gets any traction on social media. It's a weird one. Reddit is probably the place, but I don't want to go and spend time on Reddit. Whiskey, we have a whiskey. Happy days. Will you do anything about your? Yes, yeah. I will. I do want to do something about Warhammer Fest. Andy Davo's tournament. I don't know. I'll ask Andy. Andy, are you in chat still? I'll probably do like a breakdown or something. So Rich has said when I start going to tournaments again, I need to do like tournament breakdowns. So I will do those as well. There's a lot of cool videos I want to do. I think Twitter and Facebook deliberately dampen the algorithm if it has a link, especially to YouTube. Yeah, I know, it's horrible. It's horrible. It is. It's tough. Again, if you ever see a link on that I've put on Twitter, just comment on it. Just comment on it, because then I can reply to it and it creates traffic. Yeah, it's just. Hopefully, the more subscribers you get and the more people who are watching it, the more YouTube recommends my videos to other people who are watching other Warhammer stuff. So that's all cool. Thank you for asking. Restoring some old furniture, buying minis and mutilating them for kit bashes. Mutilating them. Oh, mate, Whiskey, you are going to love my next video series. If any of you are into conversions, you're going to love my next video series. It's going to be good. It's going to be very, very good. And if you like conversions but don't like spending money, you're going to hate my next YouTube series. Oh, it's so cool. But yeah, there's not going to be any. I'm not going to have any drama. There's never going to be anything negative. It's not going to be. Oh my God! Games Workshop said they were going to send me a Titan and they haven't. Oh. Work training, nice. Did you see my knee? I did. Yeah, mate. That's really cool. Short video of your Dark Elf Blood Bowl team. I had a chicken ball with. Yes, Shepherd. I will do that. I will actually do that. Because I need to paint those as well. So May, this is giving everybody warning. May is going to be Blood Bowl paint along. So every Saturday in May we're going to be doing a Blood Bowl paint along because that's after Golden Demon. So I don't have to not paint Golden Demon stuff. So in May we're going to do. Blood Bowl paint along. So get your Blood Bowl teams ready for the paint along. Oh, Sans!
Chris, it's on mute right now because work stuff, but it'll make sure I come say hi after.
Hey dude. We've got some Chaos Knights to paint for Xantoria soon. I got stickers and a paintbrush, think I'm set. I got stickers, they're multiplying. Oh my God, we got everybody today. Whiskey, thank you so
Watching you
much.
kit bash really helped me a lot with my knee, so cheers for that, mate.
Oh, a legend! Thank you very, very much. You're welcome. There's going to be loads more coming, mate. There's going to be loads more coming. Kit bashing is one of my favourite things. So kit bashing and conversions are one of my favourite things to do. Just look at my torso twist. Like everything is a torso twist. I really want to glue that on. I want to glue that on. But before we glue it on, I think I will just trim. back. This doesn't have to be neat at all because I'm going to sculpt over it. But I do want to keep that line. You're distracting me again. You're distracting me. I was quite happy painting and now I'm sat here stabbing something apart. But yeah, Neva's really nice. Oh my god, hype train! Thank you. Thank you, Taria. Hype train! We haven't had a hype train go massive for a while. Let's see if we can. The legend is here. She is indeed. Level 1 hype train. And Andy Davo as well!
Hype.
Hype for the Davo, man. Oh, Andy Davo. Did you know that he's better at Blood Bowl than a can of spam? And our Andy Davo, he's more like a tree than a human man. Oh, Andy Davo. I'm working on a points redeem. Right, food. Bye. What points redeem? What point redeem? Andy Tavo bonbons. Bonbons. Don't confuse him, faces. Don't confuse him. The only epic point. Oh no, not another one. Taria. God. Everybody's getting really close now. It's really annoying because after Saxtooth hit it, I was going to drop it. I was just going to pull it off. But everybody's really close now. And I don't want to. Oh god, I fucking hate Ultramarines. Why? I don't know why I even put it up. What a stupid idea. Story time. Story time. Do you want the next story in the Nexus Pariah storyline? There we go. So that's going to go there like that, and then we're going to sculpt some flesh. And we are going to use some super glue because we want it to be solid. And although my glue is amazing, I don't have time to wait for this to cure on there, so we'll just super glue it. There we go. And yeah. There. Right, so we have loincloth, and then what we'll do is we will sculpt flesh across that, and that just covers up the weird groin thing that he had going on, which is all good in my opinion. And we'll just bend that back a fraction so it looks like he's walking. There we go. Should have done that before I glued it on. I'd like to hear how you developed a dislike for arguably the best chapter. Oh god. Nightwish story time. It's not that interesting. I'll do both faces. I'll do both. It's not that interesting. Ultramarines are just so I like to be unique. I like to have armies that nobody else has, which is why, which is one of the reasons why I stopped playing Necrons in this edition, really, because everybody's got Necrons. I'm like, well, so I like being a unique snowflake, and Ultramarines are everywhere. Ultimately, Ultramarines are everywhere, and therefore they're boring. And then if you look at the lore, they're even more boring because they're just the goody two shoes. And I've never really liked the good guys. I've always leaned towards the bad guys. Like even at chess, I like playing black. it's ridiculous, but no one actually plays Ultramarines. That's because they're crap in the game. Yeah, it's nothing interesting. I just don't like Ultramarines because they're just the boring everywhere army. Where is it? There it is. Right, so the next one. I'm just checking whether I've read this one or not. I can't remember whether I've read this one. I don't think I've read this one. So this is the next story in the Psychic Awakening saga, which we're reading, is called The Weak and the Strong. The only armies worth playing are Orcs and Guard. Fight me. Necrons, Drakari, Grey Knights, Imperial Guard, Orcs, arguably. What else is actually worth playing? Chaos. Chaos has got loads and loads of cool narrative that you can weave into the army. We're forced to play Ultramarines, transfers in every box. I can't find a Space Marine transfer sheet anywhere. Can't wait to see you put in an epic level depth character to this Ultramarine. Which one? I can't wait to see. Fair one. I have a friend that only likes armies that are bottom of the tournament representation. Yeah, basically, it's like I don't like. I'll never play like a top tier army, which is probably why I kind of veered away from Necrons a little bit, because they were very, very strong. Like when I did my 3D printed one, when I did my undefeated Necron list, Necrons were terrible, and you had to play the absolute crap out of them. Hobby hipster. Did they really stop producing the Space Wolf box? No. No, the Space Wolf box is there. Still waiting for my friend to start a Battlefield Gothic campaign. Oh, that's another video I need to do. That is another video I need to do. Narrative campaigns across different game systems. Right. Here we go. Psychic Awakening. Psychic Awakening. This is Psychic Awakening, the weak and the strong. This is the next episode of our Psychic Awakening story saga. Casca, I've got really cool Imperial Guard stuff. These are, where are the other two? There they are. There are the other two. So I've got 6 of them, but I'm doing 3, probably doing 3 for Golden Demon if you've seen the latest video, or the second latest video on my channel, on my YouTube channel. So these will probably be a Golden Demon. They need like their faces need tidying up. Their faces are absolutely terrible, and the glow needs tidying up because the glow is really bad. But ultimately, everything else is pretty cool. Combat Trev. Yep, there's Trev. There's Trev. There's Sergeant Hudson. I don't know who this one was. We did name him, and I can't remember what his name was. Yeah. There's a video on YouTube. There's a video on my YouTube channel about how I converted those as well. It's very easy. Right, here we go. Turn the music off. Should we turn the music off or turn it down? Let's turn it down. There we go. Oh my word! There we go. Fenton stacked up behind the lead members of his squad, the 3 of them pulling in tight to the bombed-out Administratum building. The Caphorium sergeant felt the adrenaline levels rise within him, his focus tightening as the edge of the tunnel started to kick in. For some, the rush of combat made them jumpy and on edge, but Fenton had always found that it gave him an incredible sense of clarity, as though the battle brought him closer to the Emperor. Cinching his lasgun up onto his shoulder, the sergeant adjusted his stance and tapped the back of the soldier in front of him. Within seconds, the group were moving. Rapidly stepping through the structure's blown-out doorway, their motions tight and synchronized with one another. As soon as the point troopers crossed the threshold, she spun on one side, directing her attention to the hidden corner of the room. The soldier kept moving, clearing the way for the trooper behind her to enter. The second Kaforian did the same, breaking in the opposite direction and covering from the other side of the room. Fenton's ears rang with the harsh clatter of the autogun fire, the noise far too deafening in the close confines to gauge any sense of its location. Trusting his comrades to clear their sectors, the sergeant kept his focus on the view directly ahead of him and stepped forwards into the space. Keeping the sights of his weapon locked to his eye movements, he scanned the corridor that led down towards the rest of the administrative quarters. Somewhere, deep within his core, Fenton felt a curious force compelling him onwards into the darkened passageway, and he soon found himself slowly putting one foot in front of the other. One of the other soldiers from his squad joined him, pressing her body up against the other side of the corridor and matching her sergeant's steady advance. In spite of muffled hearing, the sergeant could just about make out the sound of the thumping boots hitting the floorboards above him as the other squads stormed the upper levels, but he struggled to hear anything from the rooms leading off from the passageway before him. The air began to feel hot and stifled, and he fidgeted nervously, adjusting his stance in an effort to settle back to his weapon's gun sights. "Sarge," the trooper next to him started, a note of concern edging her voice. Suddenly, the sharp, jarring sensation of being under threat came over Fenton, and he spun on his heels, bringing his lasgun around in the direction of his teammate. "Get down!" As the other soldier threw herself to the deck, the sergeant opened up, lacing the wall behind her with lasfire and punching scorching holes in the flimsy material. Without forethought, Fenton was already moving, pushing up on the doorway that led into the adjacent room and stepping through without waiting for the other Imperial Guardsmen to get into position. He came to a stop when he saw the crumpled body laid out upon the ground, but kept his weapon raised, searching for the slightest sign of movement. The sickly-looking thing could pass for a human at a distance, but the ugly, ridged forehead and off-colour skin clearly marked it out as one of the Xenos degenerate sycophants. His teammate came barreling into the room. "What in Throne's name was that?" She trailed off, slowly approaching the body to take a closer look at the prone form. "Sarge, you got it right in the head." The soldier looked back and forth between the damaged wall and Fenton with astonishment. "How on terror did you even know that thing was there?" Fenton, perturbed and equally bewildered, simply stared at the lifeless creature before replying unconvincingly, "I heard a noise." As Fenton and his squad exited the cleared building, a commotion was brewing between their platoon commander...
Into the mouth.
Nice. Hey, Kilky. The political officer was broad-shouldered individual, a stout man who carried himself with an air of constant control that hinted at a suppressed brutality simmering beneath the surface. "Commander, you were expected to have made inroads into the Manufactorum district days ago. Your orders are clear." The commissar was practically screaming in their commander's face, causing the soldiers to share worried looks. "Yes, they are." The Imperial officer stood his ground before the verbal onslaught. "Our instructions are to secure the city. That means going from building to building to building and making damn sure we clear out every one of these scum." Crenlin bristled with barely suppressed fury. "You are not!" "What am I not is taking orders from some jumped-up politico," the platoon's leader cut in. "Let me remind you, Commissar, that you have no power to supersede my orders in this matter. I will not jeopardize the safety of my troops by leaving enemy forces at our backs. Now get out of my way." Before the man had made it more than a few steps, the Commissar turned on him, pulling out the squat bolt pistol that he kept chained to his body armour. The platoon commander barely had time to react before the barrel was levelled in his direction, and the weapon bucked violently as it discharged a round. Holy shit, he shot him! Fenton watched in horror as he saw the body of his commanding officer hit the floor. Crenlin turned and addressed the soldiers that lined the street, a cold fire burning in his eyes. "Let me be clear. Cowardice has but one reward in the Astra Militarum. Up to this point, you may have been lax in the persecution of your duties, and the time for that has now passed. You will follow my orders. Is that clear? Fenton caught Crenlin's gaze as the man finished his speech. The madness he saw there chilled him to the bone. That fucking hell. That night, Fenton and his squad took refuge in the remains of a still largely intact manufactorum compound. A small fire burned in the middle of the assembled group, its cloying stink laying thick in the closed-in environments. Yet everyone was grateful for the warmth it provided. The soldiers sat quietly, each lost in their own thoughts from the day. Eventually, one of them spoke. You know, I hear they lost contact with a number of the orbitals out beyond the rim. The mood grew sombre. They all knew what that meant. Could just be the rad flares again, another offered, although even she seemed to doubt the plausibility of her own words. The original speaker looked over. You think it's true? The other soldier merely shrugged in response. A cold voice cut through the air from beyond the periphery of the small circle. I would suggest, Sergeant, that you do not allow your charges to engage in such pointless and potentially subversive topics of conversation. Crenlin stepped into the gathering, the flickering light from the fire lending his already stark features even crueler bent. I hear you had a close call today, Fenton. That
demonstration of
our power. Badri Aziz.
Badri Aziz.
moron.
I think I have one in the truck.
I hear you had a close call today, Fenton. That cold, calculated look was back in the Commissar's eyes, saved by some almost prescient reactions on your part, so I'm told. Fenton could feel the man's clinical eye appraising him, cutting him to his core and weighing him up. In truth, the sergeant could not explain what had happened any more than anyone else. The sensations that had run through him in that moment were unlike anything that had ever been felt before. He also had a strong impression that...
Swordavist says Chris reading ultramarine erotica again?
He also had a strong impression that were he to disclose any details... Oh dear. He also had a strong impression that, were he to disclose any details of what he had experienced, events might turn out rather poorly for him at the hands of their ruthless commissar. But Crenlin was still watching him, waiting expectantly for a reply, and Fenton could feel the heat rising up with him again, the room closing in around him as his brain started to buzz. He was beginning to feel about losing control when one of his squad, sensing the trouble brewing, interjected. It's the luck of the Emperor, sir. Sarge always had it. Others nodded in agreement, but the Commissar's gaze never strayed from Fenton's. Is that so? Crenlin turned to leave, but stopped briefly to cast one last look back in the Sergeant's directions. I'll be watching, Sergeant. I'm eager to see your performance on the battlefield, especially in light of recent events. And with those parting words, the Commissar left. The sensation of falling was palpable. The pitch blackness of his surroundings yielded a little clue as to where he was, but the hot, stinking air rushed past his face, indicating the horrifying speed at which he was plunging forward. Fenton's initial response had been to panic, flailing futilely as he attempted to slow his descent. Amidst the terror-fueled fog that clouded his mind, he had little opportunity to consider how he had come to this place. All he could think of was whether he would hit the bottom first, or whether he would be in collision with the side of whatever the structure had been thrown from that would end his harried existence. What he had initially taken to be buffeting currents of air whipped by seemed to have ebbed and flowed to their passing, which made no sense if he was falling. If anything, he would have expected the ferocity of its passage to be steadily increasing as he continued to pick up speed, but the soldier had begun to notice a semblance of rhythm to the gust that shook his body like a rag doll. This is really long. It almost felt like the foetid breaths of some vile corpse scavenger, its giant heaving breaths engulfing him in wave after wave of nausea. But what that did not explain the weightlessness he felt, nor the fact that his clothes seemed to be motionless, in spite of the sense of movement. Nothing but this place made any sense. Suddenly, Fenton felt his arms and legs pulled violently towards him. the muscles in his limbs spasming in protest at the sudden and unexpected force being applied to them. He could feel the ligaments straining at the effort of keeping his body held together, that his form was torqued and stretched, and he instinctively closed his eyes, in spite of the darkness, to let out a gut-wrenching scream of abject pain at the immense stresses being placed upon his frame. Seemingly in response, a plethora of lashing whips reached out from icky blackness. Where the hell is he? And wrapped their way around first his torso, then the rest of him. Sharp barbs and hooks lined the inner side of the vicious tendrils, digging their way in through his clothes and biting deep into the tender flesh beneath. What the fuck? They enveloped his face and head, crushing the air from his lungs as they squeezed tighter and tighter, delving into the very core of him and leaving burning striations across his very exposed muscle fibre. Shitting hell. Fenton's mind exploded with fiery pain. Somehow he was still conscious, but his entire being was filled with wretched sense of dread, that almost worse than the smothering pain that had been swallowing him moments before. He tried to lash out, to break free, but his limbs felt weak and ineffectual, their movements slow and uncoordinated. It's still going! As he was certain he was about to succumb to the torments being inflicted upon him, Fenton felt a sudden rush of air fill his lungs. His vision slowly returned, and he realised that he was able to move again as he looked around, dazed and confused. Does anybody know what the hell is happening? This is insane! I'm very well behaved, plus I have a meeting. Story time, it is indeed. Bunch of one-to-ones. This is nuts. It was night. Where are we? His vision... Fenton felt a sudden rush of air fill his lungs. His vision slowly returned, and he realised that he was able to move again as he looked around, dazed and confused. It was night, and surrounding him were his squad, all of them soundly asleep. Where the fuck has he just fallen from? His lungs were still desperately hitching up and down, trying to pump oxygen to the rest of his body. The sergeant tried to piece together what had happened. His head ached terribly, and in those waking moments the horror of the dream still felt as real to him as when he had been trapped inside his subconscious. Fenton blinked away the tiredness and tried to stand up. A strange scratching itch buried away inside his mind. Staggering to his feet, the soldiers felt sharp jabbing pains poking at him from all over his body. Carefully, not sure what he was hoping to find, he undid his outer jacket and looked down at the ruined form of his chest beneath. He halted sharply, and upon seeing what lay beneath, immediately began to hyperventilate again. What the fuck is going on? Laid out in widely irregular spacings, a criss-crossing network of lacerations cut their way across his skin. Along these bleeding sores were ragged tear marks where there was some kind of vicious barbs had evidently dug their way into the meat beneath. Fenton managed to make out some ramshackle building and far enough away from the others that he would not be overheard before retching his guts out all over the city street. He lay there, shaking, the cold air raising the hairs on the back of his neck as the slow, steady sound of booted footsteps approached. "Well, what have we here?" Crenlin asked in a smug tone. "Stay away from me!" Fenton pulled himself to his feet, hurriedly pulling his jacket close to hide the marks that lined his body, his head pulsing as the pressure built. "Do you know what I think, Sergeant?" The commissaire's eyes glinted in the moonlight. "I think you've been keeping a secret." Crenlin started to calmly circle the man, and Fenton, noticing that he had left his sidearm back at the rest of the gear, suddenly felt like the prey caught in much more dangerous predator's trap. Secrets can be dangerous. The sergeant watched the commissars fingering the hilt of his power sword, for everyone involved. "I don't know what you mean," Fenton gasped. "Oh, I think you do." Crenlin gave a sign of resignation, then stopped and looked at the sergeant with genuine interest. "Did you think you were the only one?" Fenton could feel the nauseating buzz creeping around his head again. The air around him started to crackle in barely controlled energy. "We've seen this lot with a recent Hive Fleet incursion," the commissar continued, "ever more increasingly in the weak and the corrupt, such as yourself." That cold smile was back. "Losing control of what little command they have over their perverted abilities." "What are you saying?" The sergeant felt his fear turn into something hard and strong. "You know what I have to do," the commissar replied, tightening his hand around the hilt of the power sword. Fenton lunged towards Crenlin, his brain searing with a burning pain, and the world around him exploded in a great ball of light. He was so dimly aware of his body flying backwards, of his consciousness fading into what he had no idea, and the whispering, rustling madness that was rising up from within him to scour away any sense of self he might once have possessed. Oh my god, this is insane! That's Gene Stealer Cult, isn't it? He's been. That's nuts! That was the coolest one yet. That was insane. What did he do to the hilt? Hannah! The only person in the company who wasn't evading me as the CEO. They're fairly smart then. Ultramarine. It's not Ultramarine, it was the Imperial Guard. Wow! That was nuts. That was insane. Wow, okay. I hope you all enjoyed that. There you go. Let's turn the music back up and get back to painting. Wow. Wow. Was that as cool with me reading it as it was me reading it? Because it was really cool to read. I don't know what it was like. If you keep reading this, Chris, you'll have to put the mature warning on the channel. That was awesome. That was really cool. That was really cool. That was really cool. I like that anyway. I was listening to Gathering Storm lore when I was in the gym today. So I had my headphones on. Going on a run. And listening to the Gathering Storm. The Gathering Storm, because that was the first time they did that kind of reboot. Really trying to move the story forward, didn't they, on in 40k? But there was so much involved. It was like involvement from everybody. All the races were in it. Even Trazim was like, oh yeah, I'll just let out some Ultramarines that have got trapped here. They've all been mind wiped, they're fine, they'll do my bidding. It was nuts. By the way, did I see Sharky back? Hello Sharky, welcome back. Yeah, there you go, story time, just in time. Got back just in time for a little bit of story time. Keep reading up, put mature warning on the channel. I'm sorry. Where did he fall then? So that's so bizarre. So he had like a subconscious dream about, well, Tyranid, doesn't it? How is the Sharky Shark? Is the Sharky Shark having fun? Have I paused chat or is just nobody talking? I haven't paused. Story time has just put everybody off. Either it's put everybody off or everybody is now on the Games Workshop website buying Gene Stealer Cult. Can't believe the commissar shot him as well. That's insane. How's work going, Shirato? All good? He's going to make a cup of tea in a second. We have a crystal! Hey, Crystal! We got a crystal as well! Christy, Crystal, Crystal, Christy, Christy, Crystal, Christy, Christy, Crystal. How far from completion? I've got to do his head. I've got to sort out all this cloak. Like I said on the video yesterday, although I have done the video, I have done the cloak more than yesterday. I spent pretty much all of yesterday kind of glazing and trying to pull all this cloak up. It's really difficult to paint because of the angles and everything of it. It's quite tricky to paint in the style at which I want to paint it. So I've got to paint the back of this. I've got to finish his helmet, and I've just got to put some highlights on his skirt here, and then he's done. Well, and then I've got to do the base. So he's nearly there. Shouldn't take long. I'm not worried about getting this one finished. I'm more worried, like I said in the video, I'm more worried about the Neferata Undead Skeleton one. That's a little bit further away from being finished. Crystal. Crystal, your meetup is the same day as Katie from Tabletop Tactics' birthday trip to Warhammer. So I can't go to that. 'Cause I'm coming down to see Crystal! Woo indeed, woo woo woo, woo woo, like the Rolling Stones song. Frowning Clown is back in the UK. Frowning Clown, Frowning Clown. Welcome back in the UK, Frowning Clown. Back in the USSR. You are the clown of frown, the clown of frown. The clown of frown. There we go. Had time with the mum out while I was away. Yeah, it's all stripped. It's just in bits. It's just in bits. I nearly bought the other one. I nearly bought the Forge World one, so I had to. I'm currently painting. More elves for a. Team tournament. So I've got lots of elves to paint for a team tournament. He's paint 800 points of elves, which is a lot of elves. I'm building a secret and it's awful. Make sure you tell people what you want to play in Discord. What I want to play? I know what it is. Why is that not going well? Why is it awful? It's gorgeous. The tea must be bloody freezing by now. Yes, no, Nielsen, I do need a fresh cup of tea. What stage of the current crypt season am I at? We're at crypt 8, and we're just going into the relic. We're just going into relic of crypt 8. Crypt 9 is going to be because some people want Blood Bowl 2 as well, so Crypt 9 will be Blood Bowl 2 and Blood Bowl 3, so it'll be small leagues in both games, which is going to be insane. Oh, Crystal is so cool! How can you say that's awesome? Awful, sorry. It's amazing! I'm so jealous. Oh, it's so cool! It's really cool, everybody, and nobody can see it because it's secret. If I can find some work before Relic ends, I might sign up for 9. Nice! Yes, Relic 9. Relic 9 is going to be great. Sorry, not Relic 9, Crypt 9. Well, but look at it. Yeah, instructions are always shit. Can't play ogres in Blood Bowl 3. Yeah, that's very true. No Blood Bowl 3 ogres. Not yet, anyway. Not yet. Crystal, it's amazing. Crystal, it's amazing. It made me stab my thumb. Well, then it sucks. It sucks. If it made you hurt your thumb, then I don't like it anymore, and I will not be buying it. How dare it hurt Crystal? How dare it? Superglue time as in supergluing the model or supergluing your thumb? Make sure, by the way, everybody, that you do go drop Crystal a follow, because Crystal is amazing, and she's also a moderator. I actually have a moderator. We've got two moderators. We do 2 mods. We have the amazing Kilky, and we have the amazing Crystal. Thumb ran out of accelerator. Music taste, how about this? I liked the Nikkor lens I had on my Bronica, but preferred my Mamiya RZ system overall. Now that's bragging. Mamiya RZs are rather cool. The cut was bigger than I thought. Oh my god, Crystal! Stop stabbing yourself, Crystal. It's bad. Just glue the entire thumb. Just cover the entire thumb with super glue. And super glue your entire thumb back together. The cut was bigger than I thought. Oh, God. I'm so tempted to give this to you. Don't give it to me. I'll do a video on it and I'll put a Crystal voice on. Hi everybody. Thanks very much to Games Workshop for giving me this thing. Hey Wolfie! Thought it was a dot, it was a flap. Oh my god. Yeah, glue the flap. Glue the flap! I'm not feeling very thankful, not gonna lie. Screw you, Games Workshop, for giving this to me. I will make sure I'll make sure I mention that in the video that you're going to do for your new YouTube video. How do you want me to introduce Crystal? Because I can't do your posh voice either. Yeah. Down in Essex. Hi everyone. Full of regret. Full of regret. Hiya, my name's Crystal. I got full of regret. I'm gonna shut up now before I get in trouble. This tea is freezing cold. I need to go make a cup of tea. Right, so we've got non-metallic sword. Non-metallic sword is done, pretty much. We can probably soften out this tip. Put a fraction more of a shine on that spot there. Yay, Xantoria! Xantoria! I was telling everybody how we've got to do some Chaos Knights for you at some point. As long as I can find some time in the midst of Golden Demon stuff. We also have a kill key in here as well, Xantoria. Xantoria. There we go. Shiny, shiny, shiny. Right, should we go and make a cup of tea? I really want another cup of tea. Z rather than Z. That's very American of you, old chap. What did I say? Oh, the Mamiya RZ. A lot of my photography is influenced, like I say, Nikon as well. So, like Nikon, I have a Nikon Z7. Yes, RZ, RZ. Like when you're doing names like that, it's like the what's the Corvette? Oh no, because that is cooler being Z, because it's a Z06, isn't it? It's not a Z06, it's a Z06. But yeah, a lot of my photography stuff is American influenced, I suppose. Right, I'm gonna go make a cup of tea, and then when I get back, I don't know what to do when I get back. I want to make that handle definitely needs to be wood. So we need to do that handle to be wood. Done the sword. Sword is all fine now. Sword looks cool. Although probably needs to be softened out a bit there. Probably. Like that. A little glare spot there. I had 28 ounce Datsun. If that's I had a 28 ounce Datsun. It's a Z06. Yeah, no, that's what I said, Sant. I said Z06. It's a really cool car as well, the Z06. I'm glad I got it right anyway. I couldn't remember whether it was a Z06 or like a Z07 or something. Datsun 280Z. No Z's here. Z's dead, baby. Z's dead. There aren't any Z's here, because Z's dead, baby. Z's dead. Whose chopper is it, baby? Zed. Who's Zed? Zed's dead. Corvette Z06. I'm in a bad mood now, so I'm going to try and chill and come back later to paint. Bye! No! Hate it when Crystal's in a bad mood. Hate it when Crystal's in a bad mood. Crystal being in a bad mood is really sad. Bye! It's often. No! I'll cheer you up, Crystal. I'll tell you a joke. Right, I'm going to go make a cup of tea. I'm going to go make a cup of tea. And yeah, I'm just going to go make a cup of tea. So I'm going to be back in a second. Does anybody want to play words on stream? Or oh, look! Oh, I missed the Kilky. Kilky, put your Kilky up again. Put your Kilky up again. I want to make a Glorfindel. We need a Kilky. Xanth, post a Kilky. Thank you. Oh God, which one are we going to match? Wow, look at all the Kilkies. Kilky Glorfindel. Kilky Glorfindel. What's the one with the? What's the one with the? Are you wearing a onesie? Are you wearing like a tiger onesie in one of them? Your emotes are so fucking cool. Cozy. Your emotes are too cool, Kilky. Look at this. Too cool. Right, I'm going to be back in a second, everybody. I typed it in English for you, not American. Why? How do you type it in American? Oh, because you put a Z in there. Yeah, I never understand. I don't get why Americans have to use Zs rather than Ss. Right, I'll be back in a sec. But thank you for spelling it correctly in my stream, Kilky. That's very kind of you. Well done. Shall we give you a pat on the back? Well done, Kilky. Do what I can any old time. Right, back in a sec.